A Tesla battery could come from one of 5 different battery manufacturers. So 2 people could purchase a Model 3 on the same day, and one person's Model 3 could have a battery made by Panasonic, and the others could have a battery made by CATL. Same car, different battery manufacturers, and more importantly, different chemistries. Battery chemistry has a big impact on the car's range, charging capability, cold weather performance, and lifespan. So which one do you have? Or which one are you gonna buy? Let's start with the chemistry. It's all lithium, no matter what. From there, it branches into 2 main types. We've got the high nickel chemistries like NCA, nickel cobalt aluminum, or NMC, nickel manganese cobalt. And on the other side, we've got the iron lithium, known as LFP, lithium iron phosphate, which happens to be the newer of the 2. There are pros and cons for each that directly affect your ownership experience, and we're gonna get into that in just a second. But who actually makes each one? On the nickel side, the NCA and the NMC cells, you've got companies like Panasonic, LG Energy Solution, and Tesla itself, with its own in-house 4680 cell. And on the iron side, the LFP cells, you've got CATL and BYD as backup, both Chinese companies. So 5 manufacturers, 2 families. Now, which family you get is the part that actually follows you for the life of the car, because it changes those exact 4 things I mentioned up top. Let's go through them one at a time. We're talking range. Nickel is denser. It packs more energy into the same space. So if you want the most range, that's the nickel cars. And it's why every long range and performance Tesla uses nickel chemistries, whereas LFP does give up some range for the same size pack. Now charging, and this is the one that surprises people. With LFP, you can charge to 100% frequently, without the same accelerated battery degradation you'd get from the denser nickel chemistries. Tesla actually recommends you fully charge the LFP battery at least once a week. It also helps the battery calibrate. Now with nickel, it's the opposite. If you charge it to 100 every day, it'll wear faster. So Tesla tells you to keep the daily limit around 80, maybe 90%. Same action, charging to full is good for one battery and bad for the other. That's a difference in ownership experience right there. If you take nothing else from this video, just take that. Now moving to cold weather, nickel, being the denser chemistry, handles the cold better. LFP loses more of its usable range when it gets cold. And up here, you'll feel that in a Canadian winter. Lifespan, this is where LFP pays you back. It lasts roughly twice as many charging cycles as nickel, call it around 3,000 versus 1,500. It's also cheaper to build and it's more stable when it heats up. Environment, now those nickel packs, they also need cobalt. 2 metals with volatile prices, awkward supply chains, and real ethical mining concerns. LFP uses neither. Now safety. LFP is also the safer chemistry. It runs cooler and is far more stable when something goes wrong. It can take a lot more abuse before it's at risk of catching fire, and even then, it's less violent about it than a nickel pack. That's a big reason Tesla uses LFP in its home and grid storage batteries also. So here's the unhyped takeaway. If your driving is normal, a commute, errands, the occasional road trip, that cheaper LFP car is very often the better long-term ownership buy. You can charge it to full without guilt, it ages slowly, and you paid less for it. So the lesser battery is sometimes the smarter money. So now we know why the chemistry matters. Let's figure out which one you have or are looking to buy. Now I think the cleanest way to do this is to sort the Teslas by their chemistry, model by model. So Model 3 first, because the cheap one hides the biggest trap. Everybody online will tell you standard range equals LFP. Well, that's not always true. And this is exactly the thing that could bite a used buyer. The standard range or rear-wheel drive Model 3 from 2021 to 2024 that was built in Shanghai, that's LFP from a company called CATL. Charge it to 100 and it'll last. But Tesla pulled that China-built car out of the US market at the end of 2024, likely because of tariffs. So the new US rear-wheel drive Model 3 went back to a nickel pack. Same trim name, opposite battery, depending on the year and where it was built. Honestly, these Model 3s with the CATL LFP pack are probably one of the most reliable EVs you can buy. Moving to the long range and performance Model 3. Always nickel, every year, every country. If it's a US car, that's likely Panasonic's NCA chemistry, and overseas, it could be LG's NMC packs. EV Clinic, a European EV battery repair shop, reports that the LG NMC pack, which is built in Nanjing, China, in some Model 3 and Model Y cars, fail far more often and wear out sooner than the US-made Panasonic NCA packs. Roughly 250,000 kilometers of life versus about 400,000, with whole modules degrading at once, which makes the repair impossible in over 90% of their cases anyway. Now, it is worth noting this is one repair shop's field observation rather than a controlled study. And EV Clinic sells used Panasonic pack swaps, so now the Model Y. If you're in the US, your Model Y is almost certainly nickel. Tesla has basically never sold LFP Model Y in the United States. All the American ones use Panasonic nickel cells from Nevada. The only LFP Model Ys are built in China and Germany. So if someone tells you their American Model Y is LFP, it's almost always a misread or an imported car. Long range and performance Model Y, nickel again, Panasonic or LG. One more wrinkle on the Model Y, Tesla's own 4680 cell. They put it in some Austin-built cars back in 2022 and 2023, and then they pulled back. I did see a 2022 report from Recurrent showing a Model Y running those 4680 cells. As of early 2026, Tesla says it's bringing the 4680 back into the Model Y, but the reporting is genuinely mixed on how widely. So if you're shopping for a brand new one, confirm it on the specific car rather than taking anyone's word. And the rest, very quickly, no surprises, the Cybertruck is where the 4680 actually lives. That's its real home, built by Tesla in Texas. The Model S and Model X, big nickel packs, always. Never LFP. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like and subscribe button. It genuinely helps me out. And there's a lot more of this already on my channel, with more coming every single week. All right, now you have an idea of what battery is in what car. Let me show you how to check the one in your driveway, or the one you might be test driving. So there's 3 checks you could do, and any one of those checks gets you most of the way there, and together they're basically certain. Number 1, the charge screen. So just open up your charging settings. If the car recommends charging to 100% for daily use, you've got LFP. If it nudges you to 80 or 90% charging, then it's likely nickel. That's the fastest tell right there, right in the app. Method number 2, check the VIN. So the first 3 characters tell you where it was built. I believe the 5YJ is a US car, but only through model year 2021. And then from 2022 on, US built cars start with 7SA. And I believe the LRW is China, with the XP7 being Germany. And remember, where it was built can flip the cell on the exact same trim. So on a standard range car, this is the detail that matters most. Now, number 3, compare that with the trim and the year. The rear wheel drive 2021 to 2024 imported, very likely LFP. Long range or performance, any year, it's likely a nickel pack. So if you're buying used, which is the smart money in EVs right now, run all 3 before you sign. 2 minutes of checking tells you how to charge the thing and roughly how it's going to age. That could be worth more than any number on the window sticker. So don't assume the cheaper LFP car is the worst car. For normal commute, it's the one I'd buy. Charge it to full, sleep fine, and spend less. So that's what's actually in your Tesla. Stay charged.